Hello, and welcome to the Voices of Vista. My name is Madison Ryan, and today we're shining our light on the cancer survivors of Vista del Lago. Today we're going to interview Mrs. Johnson and Miss McAleer. Can you briefly describe your experience with cancer?
In the summer of 2007, I started noticing some symptoms that I went to the doctor for, and they said, you need to go get a diagnostic mammogram, and that's basically an ultrasound. And then they recommended a lumpectomy, which I did. And then that came back with cancer, even though they said, oh, it's probably nothing. I think I knew the night before that it was not nothing. It was something. So about a week later, I got the results. It was just right around Christmas break. So all I could think of was that I'm going to die. I mean, that's what everybody thinks when you get the diagnosis for cancer. I'm going to get really sick and die, and I'll be trying to teach at the same time. Because that was back in 2007. That's 10 years ago. In April, I had some surgeries done, and my diagnosis was stage 1, low grade, not in the lymph nodes. Well, that's kind of like winning the lottery. If it's not in the lymph nodes, it doesn't travel all over the body. That doesn't mean I still couldn't get cancer. So after several surgeries, I was declared all clear, and I was very fortunate not to have to do radiation, and extremely fortunate not to have to do chemotherapy. I went with the surgeries versus radiation. It was my choice since it was my body, and I started studying all about cancer from that moment on. I haven't stopped. So I've been studying cancer for 10 years.
I found the lump myself. I was diagnosed with stage 1A cancer, and in May I'll be a 5-year survivor.
And how do you feel you've grown because of the experience overall?
I feel that even a bad day is a good day, because you're living life, and never take anything or anyone for granted.
It inspired me to go back for my master's in nutrition. It was like a wake-up call saying, this is what you need to study right here. It's right in front of you. It's the most important thing for you, and not just for myself, but for anybody with cancer. And so by studying nutrition, I felt like I was powerful, and I was creating my own reality and doing something really proactive for my health. Plus, if someone comes to me and says they have cancer, I can talk to that person.
And can you describe some of the biggest obstacles you faced, like then and now, because of it?
Obstacles, just getting over surgery, but that really wasn't that bad. Some women say, oh, it's this and that, it's terrible. You know what? I got to lay on the couch and watch endless seasons of whatever I wanted to, and I got time off of work. It was like a paid vacation, but not really. It was called sick leave. It was the first time I had ever used that much sick leave all at once, and I was the kind of person who was never sick from work, so I had like 200 plus days, and I still have 174 days. So that gives you an idea that I'm never sick, and that I needed those sick leave days. So the obstacle, just getting over surgeries and wrapping my head around the whole diagnosis, which, I felt bad at first, but I quickly jumped in and said, fine, I'm in for the fight of my life, let's go.
Then, once I was diagnosed, I couldn't work because I was going through chemo and radiation, so my oncologist was afraid that I would catch a cold, which would end me up in ICU in the hospital. So that was the hardest part, was taking time off from work. And now, just the drug that I'm on right now, it pulls estrogen from my bones. So I have bone ache in the morning. And once I move around,
Yikes.
I'm fine. But it's better than the other option.
And do you feel that you've personally grown strong as a person because of it?
With ultra events that I do, I felt like now, if I can do something for 24 hours or 48 hours, I can do it because I experienced 6 months of treatment. And I currently am going through hormone therapy treatment, so 5 years of treatment. So if I can do that, then I can do anything.
I try and live every day as if it's the most important day. I know not every day works out like that, but I try to do that every day. So even if I'm at work, it's a good day, even if I'm having a bad day. Not every day at work will be a bad day, so you have to remember those days are far few and in between. And I am extremely fortunate to be teaching health. How lucky is that I get to teach something that I love learning about and telling others about?
Can you give some advice to other people who may be battling the same sort of problems, and maybe to people who haven't been diagnosed and how they can avoid it?
Become your own health advocate. Start reading everything you can get your hands on. Get to a nutritionist as fast as possible. Turn your diet around. In other words, take control of what's happening to you. Find a doctor that you absolutely feel comfortable with. If you need a second diagnosis, go for that. Whatever he or she tells you is going to happen, and you question that, you have the right to question that, saying, well, I don't really want radiation. I want to do something else instead. Because I had the choice between radiation and surgery. We create our own reality, and if you take ownership of the fact that something that you did in your life brought this on, and now that you now can and you have the potential to reinvent yourself, you can actually do that. So let's say a person eats nothing but garbage and they get cancer, and when I mean garbage is junk food. They can now turn it around, start eating all healthy foods. They have nothing to lose. I call it the kitchen sink approach. Just throw everything into the kitchen sink that's healthy, and you don't know which thing's going to work, but you can go for it, because I've heard of people surviving that way. And I heard about that when I got diagnosed. It gave me hope. And so I said, what the heck, I'll do it for myself.
For those that have never been diagnosed with any type of cancer, my suggestion is to always pay attention to your body. Check yourself if there is a bump or a mass, anything, even if you are healthy, find out. It could be nothing or it could be something. Early prevention is the key. That's why I'm here. I do still have a fear that it could come back, but being that I was diagnosed so early, I think I'm told that the chances of it coming back are pretty slim. You just never know, and you just appreciate every day that you have.